Okay, students. In the last class of digital communication, we have discussed about the convolution codes. We discussed about the encoder of convolution code, state transition table, code tree, and trellis diagram. Now, in continuation of that, today we will finish the discussion about convolutional code. We will discuss about the state diagram. We will discuss that if input sequence is given, what will be the corresponding output sequence, and we will also discuss that if there is any error, how will we decode and correct that. We will discuss that with the help of Viterbi decoding technique. So now let us start with the same example with which what we have discussed in the last class. We were discussing this example in the last class, and for this example we have drawn this encoder diagram, and for this encoder diagram we have drawn this state transition table. Based on this state transition table, we have seen the code tree as well as the trellis diagram. And in the last class, I told you that this state transition table is much important, because based on this state transition table, we are drawing everything. Everything means code tree, trellis, as well as state diagram, right? So this state diagram is important at each and every stage. So as we have already discussed code tree and trellis, now let us talk about the state diagram. State diagram is much simple. We have to keep in our mind this state transition table. So I have written this state transition table main steps here again, and let us talk about how we will draw the state diagram. It is something similar to the state diagram which you have studied in your digital electronic subjects. Something like looks something like that, right? So let us say we have four states: A, B, C, and D. A is represented as 00, as we have already defined. B we have defined as 10. C we have defined as 01, and D as 11. So we have presented four dots in the space for the four states A, B, C, and D. Then we first of all read here, for zero input. For zero input, a dark line is represented with arrow. Okay, and for one input, dotted line is represented with arrow. Okay, this is the representation which is also followed in code trellis. However, I have not drawn in that manner, just for simplicity in the last class, but you can draw it in this manner now. Okay, so we should remember that whenever there is a zero input we are talking about, we will draw a dark line, and whenever there is a one input we will draw a dotted line, just to distinguish between 0 and 1 case. Okay, so keeping in mind, now let us start with the initial state. We know that we have already discussed that initial state is A, since the inputs are 0 0, initial content are 0 0. So if the current input is 0 and current input is 1, what will happen? Again we are repeating the same thing as we have discussed in code tree or trellis diagram. Okay, so if the input is 0 and the state is 0 0, the content of the register are 0 0 0. So in which state it will go from this state A? If the input is 0, current input is 0, from state A it will remain in same state A. Okay, and we know that how will we represent it? With the help of dark line. So we have drawn it here that from state A we have just moved it from state A to again state A with a dark line, and we have said that it will remain in the same state and the corresponding output is 0 0 0. So we have written here that the corresponding output is 0 0 0. Similarly, from state A, if the current input is 1, we can say that it will move to state 10, that means state B, with the corresponding output 111. So we will draw a dotted line for one input, that means if input is 1, it is moving from state A to state B with the corresponding output as 111. Right? I hope in a similar manner we can represent, you can do the representation for all the remaining states. Just try it. Let us proceed further with one more state. if we talk about the state B, we know that if the input is 0, it will move to state C and the corresponding output is 0, 1, 0. So from state B, for 0, we know that a dark line is there. So we will say that okay, if we will represent it in dark line, sorry, this is incorrect. From B, it will move to state C. So I have drawn it incorrectly. From B, I should draw it here that it will move to state C with a dark line, and I should write here the output as 0, 1, 0. Okay, so I should write it here as 0, 1, 0. And from state B, if the input is 1, it will move to state D. So it should be with the dotted line, and the output is 1, 0, 1. So from B, it will move to state D. Here it will be dotted line. Okay, and the corresponding output will be as shown here 1, 0, 1. It should be 1, 0, 0, again the same thing. Okay, 1, 0, 0, 0. So in this manner you can again do this for the case C as well as D. So just do it and complete the diagram now. So we will achieve this diagram as we have discussed that for a B state it will go to state C, or from B it will come to state D. Right? Similarly, you can see that from state C it is coming to state A, or it is coming to state B. So we have done here that from state C it is coming to state A, or from C it is coming to state B. Similarly, from state D it will remain in state D, or it will come to state C, as you can see here. Okay, so this is much simple. That is the state diagram. I hope you can do it for any case easily now. Right, so we have just represented the state diagram, code tree and code trellis. Now for the encoder given for the present question, the input sequence is given to us, that is 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. What will be the corresponding output sequence? The output sequence is coming from G1, G2 and G3, right? So, and G1, G2, G3 is nothing but the convolution of some digits which we have seen. Now, how will we get the output code word X? We will see it now. That it will be initially one bit will come from G1, another bit will come from G2, another bit will come from G3 simultaneously. So it will be the first digit, right? Then when we will move further the data from one to another location, then the next bit in sequence will come here again, G1, G2, G3, second time, then third time, and so on. We have discussed this in the starting in the of the last lecture, that total number of digits will be n plus k minus 1 into L, that you can check now. Okay, so but before that, let us first see what will be this output code sequence X based on this analysis. First of all, how will we find that? We will first convert it into polynomial form, and from that we will find out the polynomial for the output sequence, and then we will write the output sequence. Let us proceed. Let us see this, that how will you do this. Okay, so to find the output sequence, given input sequence is 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. We have G1 is equal to 1, 0, 0, G2 equal to 1, 1, 1, and G3 equal to 1, 0, 1. So if we start from this as x to the power 0, x to the power 1, x to the power 2, etc., to represent it in polynomial form, similar to the thing which we have done in cyclic code. So you can say that since it is x to the power 0 only, so it will remain same. So G1 is equal to 1. While if you represent G2 in polynomial form, you will say all are 1, so 1 plus p square. So it is 1 plus p square. While if you represent G3 as first and third term is here, and p second term p is not here, so we will say that 1 plus p square. So it is 1 plus p square. Now you have the three polynomials, uh, three outputs G1, G2, G3 in polynomial form, and message bit m is equal to 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. In a similar manner, you can say that it is first, third, and fourth. So we will say that it is 1 plus p0, p square is there, and p cube is there. Okay, so it is 1 plus p plus 1 plus p square plus p cube. It is m. Now, what will be the output sequence? Let the output of G1 is x1, let the output of G2 is x2, and let the output of G3 is x3. Okay, let it is x1 here, let it is x2 here, and let it is x3 here. Okay, so what will be the value of x1, x2, x3? That g1 is convoluting with this data bit as per the sequence coming here. Okay, similarly g2 and g3, so we will multiply the polynomial. Okay, initially we say that x is equal to x1, x2, x3, where x1, x2, x3 will take on values as per the bits coming from the input side. Okay, so let us say x1 is equal to, what will be the value of x1? G1 with m, polynomial message polynomial. Similarly x2 will be g1 into m and x3 will be g3 into m. So let us find out the polynomial first. So x1 polynomial will be g1 into m, where g1 is 1. So g1 into m is 1 plus p square plus pq. So 1 into 1 plus p square plus pq will remain same. So that means the x1 code we will receive here will be, from this 1 plus p square plus p cube, we can say that it is 1011. Right? Similarly, we will find the value of x2 and x3 in the same manner, and then we will write the complete code. So first let us talk about x2 is equal to g2 into m. What is g2? g2 is 1 plus p square, and m is 1 plus p square plus p cube. So just multiply the two, find out the value of x2. So here see, x2 is 1 plus p square and 1 plus p square plus p cube. So when we multiply it, 1 is multiplied with this term, so we write as it is 1 plus p square plus p cube. P is multiplied with this term, so p plus p cube plus p4. Then p square is multiplied, so p square as it is, plus p square into p square p4, and p square into p cube, that is p5. Now we will arrange the similar term at one place, p square plus p square here, then p cube and p cube here. So we have rearranged the term, and we know that these two terms addition, that means XORing, will give us the value as 0. So this is will cancel. So this will be 0. So remaining term is 1 plus p5 only. So the value of x2 is 1 plus p5. That means 1 And similarly, you can find out the value of x3. x3 is, what was x3? g3 is 1 plus p square. So we will write 1 plus p square. And message is 1 plus p square plus p cube. So we write it as 1 plus p square plus p cube. So multiplying these two equations, 1 multiplying with this, we get 1 plus p square plus p square. And p square multiplied with this term, that is p square, then p square into p square is p4, and p square into p cube will give us p5. Now again rearranging the terms, so that similar terms we can omit, as they will, XORing the same terms will give us value 0. So we will get 1 plus p cube plus p4 plus p5. So the corresponding code vector will be 100111. Right? So we have obtained the code vector for x2, x3 as well as x1. So the code vectors are written here again. This is code vector for x1, this is code vector of x2, and this is code vector of x3. Now here we know that simultaneously they will appear one bit of x1, one bit of x2, and one bit of x3. Right? Then second bit of x1, second bit of x2, second bit of x3. Then third bit of x1, third bit of x2, third bit of x3, and so on. In this manner, it will proceed to give us the code x. Okay, so what will be the output? We have written x1 as it is. What was the value of x1? It is 1011. We have written 1011, and next bit are not present, so we will say further it will be 0 only. x2 is 10, sorry, 110001. So 110001, and x3 is 100111. 100 and 111. So initial first 3 bits will give us the code vector x as 111. Next 3 bits are 010. Next 3 bits are 100. Next 3 bits are 101. Next 3 bits are, we will say that it is 0, it is 0, so it is 001, and it is 011. After that everything will be 0. Right? So total length of the code here is this much. You can calculate that whether it is satisfying that equation, that is n plus k minus 1 into L, or not. You can check it and confirm it now. Okay, so this is about that what is the output code corresponding to the given input code, and how will we find this output code? We have find this. Now this output code will be transmitted to the receiver side. From transmitter we will send this output code towards the receiving side. At the receiver we should receive the same, and if we will receive the same, then it is okay, we can decode and we can find out the actual output from this, actual input sequence from this. But if this is not received, how will we find that where is the error, how will we detect and how will we correct that? Can be done in different ways. The most popular ways are Viterbi decoding, known as maximum likelihood decoding, and another one is sequential decoding. Here I am discussing about the Viterbi decoding, Viterbi algorithm. So if you see this diagram, you will say, you will feel like that it is much complex, but is going in zigzag manner. But this diagram is much simple, much simple. If the previous concept of code tree, state diagram, and trellis are clear to you, we are just doing the same thing again. That means with the help of this state transition table, we are following this again, and we are following the same path in this uh, diagram. Seems like zigzag jumbled, but this is much simple. We have to follow that state transition table again only. Okay, so first we will follow the state transition table, and then we will draw this Viterbi diagram, and then we will understand that what basically Viterbi algorithm is, what is the main step, and how will we decode and correct the data. Okay, so we will proceed one by one. First of all, we will draw this diagram, that how will we draw this. So for that, as I have already said, that we need this state transition table once again. Okay, and how will we follow? We will follow one by one, step by step. That means we will start from initial condition. And initial condition, we know that all the conditions are zero, so the initial state is A. And from state A, where it can go? We have seen that from state A, it will remain in state A, or it will go to the state B, right? From state B, it will from state A again, either it will remain in state A or it will go in state B. From state B, it can go either in state C or it can go in state D, right? So we have to follow this again in the same manner in this form. So how will we do that? Let us go step by step now. First of all, what will we do in the state diagram? If you see in the state diagram, we have written state first, right? ABCD here in this manner, right? How will we write here in this viterbi? We will write the state first in this manner. First of all, we will write state A00, state B10, state C01, and state D11. Okay, it was our transmitted code word, and let us say we received this code word at the receiver. You can see that it was 111, and I have written here 011 to represent that there is a error in the first position. Right? Rest I have taken same as it is here, just for the simplicity of the analysis, so that you can understand it in a proper manner. Later on, you can include more errors and you can see the path. But if for understanding, initially I am taking only one bit in error in the first bit. Okay, so let this is the received data x. I should say that it is y, and y is not equal to x, right? So y is not equal to x, and there is error in one bit. Okay, so first of all, we are discussing that in Viterbi decoder, how are we decoding, how are we making this diagram. So I said that initially we will write all the states in the left hand side like this, A, B, C, D in 4 rows. After writing that in 4 rows, we make some dots. How are we making some dots? We will see that how many steps are there. This is first step, this is second step, this is third step, right? This is fourth step, this is fifth step, and this is sixth. So we follow further that it is first, then it is second, it is third, it is fourth. I should write it from the next point. It is the initial zero, right? So I should say that this was initial case zero condition. It is first step, it is second step, it is third step, it is fourth step, it is fifth step, and it is sixth step. That means at sixth step I will get the last bits. So we need not to further after this point. We need not to proceed again. Here we will get all the output digits. So here at each state we will draw these dots, and for each stage we are drawing these dots, means we are representing that if initial is this, then where will it proceed after receiving the first set. Then from this state where will it proceed after receiving this set. Similarly we will proceed further again and again and again. First of all we have to do this one. Okay, and for that I am initially writing here the received code word here, that in the first step you are receiving code word 011. So I have written it here. In the second step will receive code word 010. So I have written it here. For the third case it is 100. I have written it here. Fourth case you will receive 101. I have written it here. Fifth case it is 001. So I have written it here. In the fifth case it is 011. So I have written it here. Okay, so correspondingly where it will move from which state to which state, that we have to draw first. And what is important with the decoding, that it says that first of all draw all the states, then check minimum Hamming distance. Minimum Hamming distance, we know what is minimum Hamming distance, and we have to find out the minimum Hamming distance, and then we have to follow the path where minimum Hamming distance is there. We have to follow minimum Hamming distance path. Okay, so let us proceed further and do it, so it will be clear to you perfectly. Okay, so initially we have drawn this. Now let us proceed further with the first case. So initially we say that in state A we must remember the state transition diagram. If you have not remember that, you can write this state transition diagram in your copy before proceeding further. Because of the less space, I am not repeating this diagram again in parallel to the Viterbi. You can note it in your copy. Okay, and let us start that in initial state A it will move to state B if input is 1, and it will remain in the same state if input is 0. Okay, and outputs are 000 or 111. So that is what we are doing here in the Viterbi, that initially in state A it will remain in state A. Okay, if the input is 0, and the corresponding outputs we write here with arrow that it is 000, and if the input is 1 it will state to move from state A to state B. It will move from state A to state B, and the corresponding output we have written here 111. Okay, so we have written that from A it will remain in state A, and the corresponding output are 000, and from state A it will move to state B if the corresponding output are 111. Okay, similarly when it will reach to second stage we will again move further in the same manner, that is from state A it will remain in state A and the corresponding output are 000. By default it will proceed further again and again, and from state A it will can move either to state A or it will move to state B. So I have drawn it first. Okay, just so that you can understand that how it is moving. Okay, now if it is in state B it will go to state C or it will go to state D, and the corresponding outputs are 010 or 101. Right? Similarly, when it reaches to state C, it will move from state C. Let us just recall the thing, that from state C, if the input is 0, it will move to state A, and if the input is 1, it will move to state B, and the corresponding outputs are these 011 or 101. Okay, so we will do that. That means we will say that okay, if it is state C, it will move to state A in the next case. Okay, or it will move to state B similarly. So before moving further, let us first do the thing that was written in the last slide, that we have to check minimum Hamming distance. We have to check minimum Hamming distance for each and every case, and we have to follow minimum Hamming distance path. Okay, so what is this? How will we do? How will we find the minimum Hamming distance? We will compare the output code with the output we are getting through this path. Okay, here if we say that the output we are getting through this path is 0 0 0, and the input code is the received code is 0 1 1, we can say that Hamming distance is the second and third bits are differ. So Hamming distance is 2. So we write at this node that the Hamming distance is 2. While for 1 1 1 and 0 1 1, we can compare and we can say that only first digit is differing, so Hamming distance is 1. So at this node we write that Hamming distance is 1. When we proceed further, we will add this Hamming distance to that path. That is what we will do. At this point, we say that it is 0 0 0 output, while the correct received output is 0 1 0, and if we compare the two, we can say that only second bit differ, so there is one Hamming distance, right? And one Hamming distance added with the previous Hamming distance 2 will give me the Hamming distance at this node as 3. We will proceed in the same manner. That means again it is 0 0 0 and it is 1 0 0. It is one Hamming distance here. So 1 plus 3 will give me the Hamming distance 4 at this point. Okay. Similarly, if I follow this path, here the output is 1 1 1, and I have seen that 1 1 1 and 0 1 1, the Hamming distance is 1. So proceeding further through this path, I say that it is 0 1 0 output, while it was 0 1 0 output received, so Hamming distance is 0. So Hamming distance is 0 here, means 0 plus the previous Hamming distance 1 will give me Hamming distance 1 here. If I compare this case, that if I follow this path from here to here, if I follow this path, the Hamming distance is 1 0 1, and if we compare this 1 0 1 with this 0 1 0 1 0 1, that means all the three bits differ with each other, so the Hamming distance is 3, and 3 plus 1 at this point, 3 plus 1, that means I should write at this node the Hamming distance is 4. Okay. Similarly, if I follow this path, I should write that 1 1 1 and 0 1 0, first and third bits are differing, so Hamming distance is 2. So at this node it is Hamming distance 2 plus previous 2, that means it is 4 at this node. Similarly, I will write for the remaining, that means for this path 1 1 1 and 1 0 0, the two Hamming distance plus the previous 3, it will be 5 Hamming distance at this point. So in this manner we will write the Hamming distance for each and every node, every state. Then we will further process that where it will go from here, where it will go from here, where will it go from here, right? And continuously we will do till last, and we have to find out the Hamming distance for each and every case. Now you will say, sir, it is too much lengthy. However, it is simple, but it is too much lengthy. Yes, it looks too much lengthy, but we need not to do all calculations. We have to apply our mind, and we have to think that which that finally what we have to do, we have to follow the minimum Hamming distance path. And to follow the minimum Hamming distance path, if in any path distance is much large, we should not follow that path continuously, because that cannot be the minimum distance path. So we should neglect it, and we will follow only those paths further which we can think that they may be the minimum distance path. Okay, so how will we do that? Let us see that. Up to this point, let us first see that what we have said, that here the Hamming distance is 2. Let me change the pointer first. Here we have seen that the Hamming distance is 2, then it is 3, and proceeding further 4. It seems that it is going good. 2, 3, 4 less Hamming distance. What about other paths? If we see this path, it is 4 here, while it was 4 here. So it is increasing continuously, rapidly. It is 4 to 6 here. So I think we can say with surety that it is increasing at a high rate. So we need not to follow this path from here onwards, right? So I should say that I should cancel. I should not proceed further from here. This is not required to be done further. Similarly, here it is 5. Again, it is much higher weight. so we need not to continue further for these paths, right? Now if we compare the remaining path, it is 2 3 4, right? It is 4, we have cancelled this, we have cancelled this, so this is, we will not continue. While if we see here, it is 4, so we may draw for 4, we may draw for this 4, but again 4 is much higher, as we are having 4 here, so that path is better, so no need to continue further from these paths. Now look interestingly here, 1 1 1, so this is minimum distance, while 4 is much larger than this at this stage. So at this stage, if I see that 6 and 5 are much higher, so if we will proceed through these paths, there is no use. They cannot be having minimum having distance path. They cannot follow. Only this one is seems to be strong, and this 4 may be there, so we may continue with this path, or it seems that this is the best path. So we have to see where is this going further and what is the weight in the next case. So we will take only this path or this path, and we will check, and we will neglect these paths. Okay, that's why I have shown it here as a dark line, that this is the best path. It seems that it is the best path, we should follow this only. However, near about 1, we can say that we should check for 4 also. It may be that it may not be the correct path, so we will take this also, but wherever the distance is much higher, need not to calculate further. Okay, so proceeding in this manner, this will be the complete diagram. After this, I have not continued with this path and this path, as we discussed. I have continued with this path and this path only, right? You can see here when we follow this path, it is 0 0 0, it is 1 0 1, so it is 0 1, first digit is differing and third digit is differing, so having distance 4 plus 2 here, that is 6. Okay, so it is increasing at a higher rate, while here if we see that 1 for the next case it is 0 1 0, it was 1 0 1, the having distance becomes 3 plus 1 equal to 4. While if we follow this path, having distance is only 1, while here it is 6, so no need to follow this path again, and this is also much higher, it is only 1 here. So let us see further that what is going on in this path. If we continue it again, it is 1 here, that means it is the minimum path, it is sure that we have to follow this path, no need to see all other paths now. So I have followed this path only, and here the minimum having distance is 1 up till end. So it is sure, it is certain that we should follow this dark line path only, right? So this is how we find out the Hamming distance, and we follow the minimum Hamming distance path. Now from this minimum Hamming distance path, using this Viterbi decoding, how do we find that where is the error in the given output sequence? Here we write the received data first, as it is, as written here. I have written it here, that it is 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 and 0 1 1. Now I will write the path as per the Viterbi path. As per the Viterbi decoding, whatever the path we have followed, we will write the code according to that. In the first case, it is 1 1 1, so I have written it 1 1 1 here. In the second case, through this path, it is 0 1 0, so I have written it 0 1 0 here. In the third case, following this path, it is 1 0 0, so I have written 1 0 0 here. In the fourth case, following this path, it is 1 0 1 here, so I have written 1 0 1 here. And similarly, the next one is 0 0 1 and 0 1 1, so next one is 0 0 1 and 0 1 1. Now we will compare the two, that they should be same, and you can see here that 0 1 0 is same as 0 1 0, 1 0 0 is same as 1 0 0, 1 0 1 is same as 1 0 1, 0 0 1 is same as 0 0 1, and 0 1 1 is same as 0 1 1. So up to this point there is no error, it is received correctly, right? While as I did mistake here, that I put it one error, I told you that I am knowingly doing it, right? So we can see that here we have easily find that it was 0 here, but it is 1 here, that received code word is 0, but it is showing 1 here and rest 2 bits are same. That means there is error at this location. So what we did, we have successfully find that okay, here is the error. So we should write a code word like 1000 rest all or 0, and we should XOR that, and so we should correct it from 0 to 1. So we have to correct this bit only, and hence we will receive the correct word, and you can check that 111010, this was your correct transmitted code word X was. So we receive X correctly using this technique. This is about bit-error decoding. Okay, these are the references which I have taken in my different slides, except my notes, few other faculty notes also, as well as different websites I have searched. I have referred mainly Lathi book, Hekin book, Taub and Schilling, and Shom outline series. Okay, so this is all about what I have discussed. I have explained you in my different lectures of digital communication. Thank you very much. Good luck to all of you.